So here we are. We're finally finished with this
We're
thing.
done.
How'd it go? It's your first time, your first experience. Like, honest feedback. What do you think?
Okay, so my first time going into this, I had no idea what to expect. Two things. I have a lot more appreciation for what you've done
Thank you.
over however many years you've done it now. If I don't give Scott Anderson credit for what he used to do, I might get in trouble.
We'll
so.
edit this part out. But I got you. Yeah.
And appreciation for what our team has to do day to day in the field. You guys are incredible. And it's one thing watching you when we're in the field with you, but it's a whole nother thing when you're standing in front of the customer and having to keep a lot of things in mind. So we just, I'm speaking for both of us here because I think you'll agree because you're nodding your head, but we have so much appreciation for you and for what you do and for how you do it.
That what and how is really a big deal because if you think about it, all we do, right, in those, so we give them these almost 20-minute long sections on a single category.
Yeah.
And I think we've not done, at least this is your first time, so I've not done a good enough job saying, first of all, you don't have to do all that.
Yeah.
They do that anyway without asking our permissions, which is really kind of the admiration that I've got for this team because they've made it their own over the period of time.
Yeah.
But we tried to do, to that end, we did a couple things different. We still did the 15, 20, in some cases even longer, single category deep dives. But then Alina did a modeling of kind of an intro and then move into just one product deep dive that would really encapsulate an entire presentation if you were at the distributor's office. Because the segmentation, as we discussed, has allowed us to, gives us permission to do that.
Yeah, and going along with our go-to-market strategy where you guys are with these customers a ton throughout the year, it really allows you to focus in on one category and go all in, and then the next time you're there, present something else and move into the one-on-ones. And one thing that I do want to mention, we had customers come in from Milwaukee and Miami. I've never met either group. You've met one of them. So we asked for feedback, honest feedback. What do you think of this format? What if we, instead of being here for an hour and a half and presenting everything, what if we just did small portions and small bits and pieces at a time, moved into one-on-ones to invest in your book of business afterwards? And both groups loved it. Now, one group was merchandisers, the other group was just sales folks, and it was exciting to hear that because I think at the end of the day, the customer's opinion matters most. So just to get that, what's the word?
Buy-in, acknowledgement, acceptance, permission.
Reinforcement?
Reinforce all those things.
Yeah. Just to get that from the customer was a good thing for me.
Yeah. Well, it was reinforcement, but it gives us permission, right? It was.
And yes.
That reinforcement gives us permission to do what we think is going to work.
Yeah.
And I say permission because I know when I was in the field that I wanted to show as much as possible and take up as much time as I could possibly get with these folks. And I think, if they gave me 2 hours, I'd take it.
Yeah. Yeah, you lose them after a certain
You lose
point,
them after,
right?
yeah.
Well, and now our line has grown so much that it's impossible to do that.
Right.
Excuse me. Just spit at you.
I saw it. It went into my cup.
Oh, good. Drink up. We've gotten close this week.
So you'll see that. A couple of watch outs, as usual. There is a lot of product, and the development team did an amazing job. There's a lot to talk about. These meetings are not the place to talk about too much of it. As you see us presenting product, it's really, really important to catch us positioning the product, and not the product, but positioning a category. Yeah. And then there's a few things within us presenting products that are like some stats and things that are fun to note down. We'll make sure those are in the document so they're easy to find. But even when you and I got to the product part of it, it kind of got
clunky.
We didn't have to. We didn't have to go through all the product because we had already positioned it. They had already bought in to what we were selling.
Yeah.
So we could have literally, almost without any product, we could have moved into one-on-ones.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, for sure.
Any highlights?
Did we talk here about one-on-ones in the business review?
Not yet.
Okay, I couldn't remember if that was just, this is all getting edited, right? Or we're doing
That part
multiple-
will be.
Oh shit, I didn't know that it was all roll and that's we're using it.
Just go.
Okay. Another thing that we have for you guys is one-on-ones and a business review, because we know that we ask you guys to do that in the field. And we
Start that part over, because we will. I just wanted to fuck with you a little bit. That's funny. I'm such a jerk.
Can you move your mic clip up higher? Closer. Yeah.
Perfect. So, okay, one-on-ones.
Yeah, so what we also have for you guys is an example of what a one-on-one looks like with a merchandiser, and an example of what a business review looks like with two principals of a company.
That was a pretty cool business review. By the way, thanks for executing it.
Yeah.
So you had a principal that was a primary salesperson, and you had a principal that is really the CFO of the company, but also has some background in product development. Interestingly enough, with Bullet Line.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story. But go ahead. I just thought that was a great, really well executed piece.
Yeah, and again, something that you guys constantly run into in the field is we want to get certain things from them, from the customer, and we want to hear the perfect answer, but sometimes they just don't get there, so we have to find different ways to get the information out. And some really cool opportunity came out from the business review, some aha moments for the customer, which is always exciting to see. And yeah, same with the one-on-one. You know, I went with the mission of one thing and I came out with something else out of it. So that was a fun experience. It's two of my favorite things to do when I was in the field. So that was fun to implement.
What I thought
again.
you really did well in the business review was a give get. So there was, you'll see there's an ask for some service tools from us to put in place. And Lena did a great job of getting them to commit to a dollar amount when they didn't want to. It's
Yeah.
really tough to commit to a dollar amount on and on and on. And so, but she kept giving them numbers to agree to. And interestingly enough, we landed on $30,000. And then after the camera stopped rolling, later on, the more they thought about it, they said, you know, it's probably $100,000.
Yeah.
So, but the message there is make sure that the target is measurable. And had it been, yeah, we'll just increase our business if you do that, it wouldn't have been nearly as impactful. Now we have a goal.
Yes, exactly. Yep, a goal and a time frame to hit that goal. So, yeah, it was a fun experience.
Thank you.
I'm glad that my first go at it is over. I'm going to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
Just to learn the process and how to do it all. And yeah, thanks for having me.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Don't overpromise.
Yeah.
There's not much more to say. It's still a Core 4 message. We have taken, previously we used Core 4 plus 1, which was, Core 4 plus 1 was, what are the Core 4? Previously we used Core 4 plus 1, which was pen and paper, drinkware, tech, bags, and then gifts. We've really taken the pen and paper and gifts and put them together and just called it gifts. And that way we have a pure Core 4 message, and it's easy to compartmentalize on film. It's easy to compartmentalize when you're out in the field. We didn't want to keep that kind of messy line.
We wanted to make it really easy to plug and play too. So with the 30-minute presentation, the feedback that I heard a lot from the field is, okay, well, we have great videos for deep dives, but how do we combine it all? And it's really difficult to do if you're talking about everything. So if the category of focus isn't what's in the 30 minutes for you guys, remove that and plug in another category that you make where you guys and your clients need to focus. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Cool.
awesome.
Nice work.
Thanks.